Hi, my name's Hannah Hamblin, and I volunteer at the Walnut Women's Center. I first started volunteering in the donation room, where different individuals in the community they come in and they donate supplies such as food, clothing, or anything an individual needs on a day-to-day basis. I would organize those into different groups so that when people who need to utilize those supplies come in, it's easy to grab what they need. Um, I had to go through the process of becoming fingerprinted, getting a TB test, and getting my immunization records sent to me in order to volunteer in the Early Childhood Education Center where I now volunteer. Um, I volunteer with either ages newborn to 2 or in the Kids Center. It just really is dependent on what is needed that day from me. I volunteer on Thursdays. I really enjoy volunteering, especially in the early childhood education program, because I get to see children and I get to help children um, and see how they grow and see how they develop and help them on a day to day basis. And I want to be a teacher in the future, so being involved and around children at this age now is, extremely helpful. Um, I like, I just like being around people, and so it's really helped. I have grown to realize how incredibly lucky I am being who I am and raised by who I was raised by, and not having to deal with some of the struggles that a lot of the parents who drop these children off do. A lot of them are teen parents or they struggle financially, and they just want to give their children, a good place to stay during the day and to learn and grow while they go to work or school or wherever. The Walnut Women's Center has other various places to volunteer. You can volunteer as in the front desk where they answer phones, sign people in, and do that sort of thing. You can volunteer as a person who answers phones for the domestic violence hotline that they have. Those people really help to give advice and resources to survivors and individuals going through domestic violence, whether or not they're men or women. These individuals are trained through the center, and the hotline is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can also volunteer as an event coordinator, and those people would plan food drives or plan presentations to the high schools or the middle schools about sex education, about STIs, about safe sex, teen pregnancy, and all of those types of topics. The Walnut Women's Center really focuses on a holistic picture of a family. They want to bring together a family and promote safety and awareness. They really focus on, using different terms rather than calling a domestic violence person a victim or a survivor. They really want to focus on the positive and end, that sounds like a fantasy, but end domestic violence and end the stigma behind it. It's not always women. Men can be involved in it or be, a victim and become a survivor just as much as a woman can. And it's really been enlightening to see, how many people utilize this center and how many people depend on it for, resources, advice, a place to go in times. And it's really, really showed me how incredibly privileged and lucky I am to have grown up in a, financially stable household, to have grown up with my parents are divorced, but I have 4 parents, which is, better than 2. Um, it's been shown how really incredibly lucky I am to have just had the circumstances that I've had. And it really, this relates to like the first article that we read, where he talks about the cycles. The cycle first begins with what you're born into. And for me, I was born as a cisgendered white female. The only part of that where I could even face even a little bit of oppression is as being a female, and I don't think I do. So it's just been really enlightening to see how, how many women come into the center and need help versus, men, or how many people of color come in versus white people. It's just been really enlightening to see how incredibly lucky I am to be who I am, and it's really showed me that I do want to help on a greater level, um, you know, just on the domestic violence platform to end or to help, spread awareness that this happens all the time. The amount of people that come through that center is honestly crazy. I really enjoy working there and, being around the children. I work with one of my friends, Caitlin. She's also in the early childhood education program. She's actually the one that got me into it. And it's just been really rewarding. They actually have a 3-month commitment. And so instead of just doing it for the 10 weeks that we're in this class, I'm going to do it for the rest of my last 2 years here at UCSC. But yeah, thank you for watching my video.